Emo Kids, welcome to Emo Kids Anonymous podcast with your host Amanda and Rob.
Hey.
Hey, how is it going,
Hey.
Rob? I have a guest with me today. Do you see who he is? For those who cannot see, it is the Build-A-Bear Emo Axolotl.
That's the most kawaii looking, is that the word kawaii?
Kawaii, I think so.
Not trying to be too deep on my weeb shit, but so
Yeah,
that was an April Fool's joke, I thought,
it
but they made them
was.
for real. How many
Yes.
did they make? Like, this is a rarity, right? Like, there was a limited quantity.
Yeah, I don't remember how many. I want to say maybe like a couple hundred.
I was gonna say, I
And
feel like that they didn't do more than like 500 or something.
yeah, and I got to be honest, I had no idea. It's just a friend of mine who I met through all of my Fall Out Boy concerts had bought this one and then had also had a friend go on and buy one for her daughter. That was the only reason why she was buying it was for her daughter. And she's like, I don't need an
Wow.
extra one. Do you want
And
this
you're
one?
like,
And I was like,
yeah,
yes.
I need that for my daughter.
Yeah, for my daughter. My daughter
Yeah.
said, can I take that to school? I said,
No.
only if you promise to bring it back. I don't know.
Right? Hell no.
Your school's a little sketch, so I don't know.
Right? Yeah. We don't trust those little fucking Kentucky kids.
Yeah. Oh no.
You're gonna
No.
bully the little guy, you know?
Yeah,
Does
they're
it
gonna bully him.
so I'm sorry, I don't even mean to misgender. Like I feel like that could be like a they them animal. Does he have pronouns and a name? Like what do we got here for this?
Yes. So I crowdsourced Fall Out Boy Twitter, and his name is Wencelotl.
Wencelotl. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Cause I saw a few pop up and I was like, these are pretty rough. Like it's tough. I saw one that was like Bangsalotl and I was like, well, that's like a real freak. Like that's a name for freak films. Like
Yeah,
which is
that's a little
all
weird.
work is work. But I figured the axolotl. I didn't think he was doing SW.
Yeah, we're not yet. No, not on
Not-
this, not on this channel. Yeah, some people said Axel, and I even asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was throwing out amphibian in there for some reason. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask people. It's fine.
Right? You're like, yeah, I don't know. Because I was trying to think too. I'm like, there's no possible. Like I don't know if there's a good name. Like it's got to
No.
be something like a
Yeah.
Todd or Thurman. But like you came up with a good one there. That's good.
Yeah. Well, it goes with my two peeps that I have, my Peep Wentz and Peep Trick Stump. So they all.
What do you mean peep? Like the Easter candy? Like you keep them little slutsy
Oh
around?
wait, have you not seen? Hold on.
I
Have
don't
you
know
not
what
seen
peep.
this?
I don't think I
Oh
know.
my gosh! Now I have to leave.
Yeah, let's
now I have
see.
to. Okay.
We need like an MTV. You got a letterboard back there even too
I
with
do.
Fall Out
Yeah.
Boy lyrics.
It
That's
does.
sick.
Yeah, it is. Two different ones. I think Fake Out and Hold Me Out to Grudge. Okay, so this is Peep Trick Stump.
Wow. Okay. Oh, I've seen
That's-
these on the internet because of
Yeah.
you. I think. Okay. So it is Peeps. It's the candy company. Oh wow. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
And-
Whoa. Whoa.
And this is Peep Wentz. This one came out last year, and it was a big deal because everyone's like, did they just make a Peep in the style of Pete Wentz because of the hair and stuff?
At what point is this? At what point is this cultural? Oh, I like that the one has the little fucking Patrick Stump fucking. Wow,
The
it's
little
got the hat
that's-
even. Yeah,
Yes, yep. That's why we've determined that that's
yeah,
Peep Trick. So yes,
that's fair. And I like that. Yeah, the P one is wearing such low cut pants that he's not even wearing pants. Like that's super P
Sounds
right
about
there.
right. I could like draw the clandestine Bart. The
I was
bat.
gonna say, yeah, it needs
Yeah.
the clandestine shit on there.
Yes, the Bart skull is that what they call it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
exciting. You got a new family member and it's house trained and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's definitely house trained. Thank God for that.
Okay, good. Yeah, good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. So that happened this weekend, and a lot else had happened too. Coachella was this weekend.
Coachella was this weekend. The greatest weekend to be in LA was this weekend because all
Yeah.
the fucking traffic leaves to the desert. And it
Yeah,
sounded it sounded exciting. I don't know.
I don't know. No, it sounded awful. Apparently, people were describing it in terms of the Fire Festival. They said the lines were outrageous just to enter the festival, like 12 plus hours. There wasn't enough food, water. There was extremely long lines at the bathrooms. So I like all the first I think 2 days, all I kept hearing was how awful it was. And this is Coachella, right? I mean,
Are we hearing this from like veteran Coachella goers, or are we hearing this from Gen Z dorks who fucking
that is a great question.
haven't been to anything before and they're extreme? Because like that sounds like I remember like I was at Coachella like this would have been the Jay Z year, so I think this is 2010.
Yes.
Jay Z and the Leon guys who I can't stand were headlining. They're like a group
Kings
of
of Leon?
cousins. The Lion Kings. Yeah, the Kings of
The
Lions.
Lion.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
the fire sex guys. Don't like those guys. They were the Benson Boons of 2010. Anyways, I went then, and the lines to get it, like I've always heard parking, like getting in your camping thing takes hours and hours and hours. Just getting like our
Yeah.
wrist, because this is before they mailed the wristbands out, so we had to take the tickets to get wristbands or something like that. Just the
Hmm.
line for that was so bad that my girlfriend at the time literally fucking fainted. Like it was gnarly, and I'm there with my brother who's like twice my size, and like I'm like, Brian, why didn't you catch her? Like he's like,
Yeah.
why didn't you catch her? I'm like, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for this.
I thought you had it, bro. Like, I don't know. Like,
Oh my gosh.
but I've always heard that stuff about Coachella, so I'm curious if it's actually sucked or if it's young people not knowing how the world works.
I think there were
Probably
definitely some
mixed.
veterans. I know that the news covered it, like was live covering it as
Oh
well.
shit. Okay.
So
Okay.
it was a big deal, yeah. And then there was some issues with I think Megan the Stallion's mic went out, and someone else had issues with their sound, and yeah. So it was an interesting weekend. Bernie Sanders showed up to introduce
Bernie,
Claro.
Bernie Sanders was there. I know. It's funny. I've been seeing ads like the last few weeks, like all like scoured like Craigslist like a degenerate, and there's been so many ads like work the merch table at the Bernie Sanders rally, and I'm like, Bernie has a rally in LA the same. I remember kind of thinking like the same weekend as Coachella. Wouldn't it be so funny if like Green Day or someone like had Bernie come out? Like, yeah, it's nice that she brought out Bernie. I like
Yeah,
Claro. I see her as I see her. She's a Janssenoff artist to me. Like she's in that Jack Antonoff world, kind of.
yeah. I see that
But
as well. And I was because he was just doing a rally with AOC earlier, and the fact that he even came out to do that is insane. Good for him.
nice guy,
Still kick
nice
it with the
guy.
youth. Yeah.
Yeah, nice guy.
And the last thing that, well, obviously, Green Day headlined, and it's so funny because we follow Green Day, so we know that on their
I'm familiar.
tours, they always bring someone up to sing with them during, don't remember which song it is.
What do they do, like
And
King
then,
for a Day or something? Yeah, they do the Green
yes,
Day gimmicks. They're
yes,
like Kiss to me. Like Green Day's like if you've seen Green Day one time, you're good. But like I'm not really into like being bossed around. So when a motherfucker comes around, he's like, "Give me a hey, give me a ho," I shut off. Like I saw
okay,
Green Day. I saw Green Day on the what was it? The Hell Omega. What was that one called? The
yeah,
Fall Out Boy one. I
yeah,
saw them
Hell
on
Mega
that
Tour.
one, and it was like this is like seeing Weezer was like really, I mean I've seen Weezer, but I was like this is really cool to see Weezer, like cool. And then Fall Out Boy played, and I legitimately cried when Fall Out Boy played, like because I was like,
That's a
you,
beautiful
you
thing.
understand. But it was just
Yes,
like this is so because like that's our band, that's one of our
yeah,
like like that's our baby, and
yeah,
it's like I'm at Dodger Stadium right now. There's fifty
yep.
thousand people here right now listening to fucking my songs. Know what you did in the dark, like this is
It's a beautiful
magical.
thing.
And then Green Day played, and I'm just like, this is the best, like a great version of it, but it's like county fair rock band stuff to me. Like, give me a
Yes,
hey, ho, hey, hey, ho,
they
ho, ho,
have
hey,
become
hey,
they
ho, ho. The fuck up, bro. But I love they're great elder statesmen.
they are the elder statesmen. Yes, Green Day fans don't come for us in the comments.
Yeah.
No, but
So
I
yeah, they
mean,
brought someone
yeah,
out.
they brought someone out for one of the songs, and then they also brought someone else at the end to do "Good Riddance," "Time of Your Life." Yeah, so that who played the guitar with them, and the guy had a shirt on. But it's so funny because regular media is like, "Oh wow, look at this," and I was like,
What a
"Yeah,
cool
actually,
thing to do. And it's like,
yeah."
these
I was
motherfuckers have
like,
been doing this for to the point that it's tired, to the point that I'm over
"Yes,
here like, God, get a
yes."
new
I know
act.
someone who's been brought up on stage,
Oh,
like at
that's
the
sick.
Hershey's, yeah, in Hershey Arena, this past summer. She was brought on stage. So like I know, I was like, it happens, it's fine. But then
That's
the
awesome.
one that it was awesome. But then the person or the thing that's been getting talked about the most is Benson Boone, who I know you are a fan of, clearly, because
I
he did
hate that
Queen
shit.
and brought Brian May out. And there was varying responses
Of
to
all
the
the
Benson
Queen
Boone.
songs too, he
It's a
did he
hard
do
one.
We're the Champ? That's what he did. He's
Yeah.
I I'll go on record. I try to keep things pretty down the middle. Music is subjective or whatever, all that. Benson
Yeah.
Boone is fucking terrible. I hate Benson Boone. This sucks. This sucks. There's red flag after red flag. And it's not red flags, it's gimmicks. And like gimmicks are cool. Like I like gimmicks. Like I
Yes.
love pro wrestling. Gimmicks, fucking put on a show, do your thing. But it's like you got the jumpsuit, you got the backflip, you got the fucking the stash, the hair, the fucking chiseled body. Like he looks like fucking handsome Squidward out there. And for the longest time, I was like, this guy is giving me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know what it is about it. I don't like it. I
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't like it. It bothered me. I kept seeing it at first. I was like, that's cute. Like, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm just kind of like, I think it's kind of like, that's music. Like you told me before, he was on American Idol. So like,
Yeah,
that to me,
he actually did audition for American Idol. Yeah,
it's
I don't know
it's
how far he
music.
got.
It's music for people that don't give a fuck about music. It's music for people that don't like actively follow music. Like if you're deep in the game or even
Yeah.
slightly in the game, like it's not for you. But if you heard that song on the radio and you don't listen to anything else, I get it. Like, please, like, yeah, it's probably tight. Like the guy does the thing, and then you watch
well,
the award
honestly,
show, he does the backflip.
That one, so I've listened to this song and I've tried to listen to his other stuff. It's just that one part of that song.
He does, and he does that one
That's-
part in like other songs where it's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's the exact same note he
That's
hits.
the
Like
best part of the song, which I was like, well, then the rest of the
It's
song's
his
like kind of meh.
gimmick. That's the gimmick. It's just the fucking, he hits that fucking note. It's the same
Yeah.
one. He does it again. Then he hangs on it. It's one tight note you guys are marking out over. Like why? It's like, okay. If you like maybe remember in high school or college or something, there'd be like a talent show, and like there's probably some
Yeah.
friends of yours that were in an actual band that were artistic and had some creativity to them and this and that. But maybe they weren't great. And then there was probably some like youth group kids or some kid on the basketball team that would get up there and like play like a cover or some John Mayer song, and he'd play it like perfectly and be like, "Oh my god, it's so
Okay.
good!" But there's no artistry there. Like there's nothing that makes it interesting. It's like you don't have anything to say really. And
That's true, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like there you can be talented, you can be a great singer, but that doesn't make you an artist. And I know I'm sure like there's some what are the fans called? Do they have fans? The Booner Gooners? I'm gonna call them, yeah.
That's an amazing fan name. I'm not that invested in the Benson Boone fandom,
I don't
but
believe there's
I'm
enough
sure they
fans that are weirdos enough to have names for a fandom that would think to do that. Like I don't think the moms driving in the pickup line have a fandom name, but these Booner Gooners, like they don't know any better. They don't know any better. There's no
Yeah.
artistry to it to me. Like it's just like it's youth group music to me. It's like those are really talented kids
Honestly,
at the youth group.
It's made for TikTok. It's music with just the perfect snippets that
Yeah.
are perfect for a 30 to 1 minute YouTube or not YouTube,
You know who
TikTok
else does
video.
that? And I don't know. I see like a lot of hate for this person, and I'm wondering if it's like just my algorithm.
Who?
Doechii.
Oh
Yeah.
no, you don't like
I
Doechii.
I don't like the anxiety song. Gives me anxiety. Like it makes me like embarrassed for her. I like the one where she like does the thing. She's like, I like drugs. Like I like that song.
It's a great
I
song,
like that.
yes.
I like that one part really, just because she's being a degenerate and it's a good. But like, I don't get it. She came out of nowhere. And did you get these emails from TikTok creator where it's like, oh, make a video using this? I got
Yes.
an email last week that's like, use the
I do all
Doechii
the
song.
time.
You can make up to like fucking hundreds of like I've never seen that number on a song before.
That's
Like
insane.
I've never seen that, and it started making
But
me
I can
think like,
see that.
is this an industry plant? Is that what that is? Like I don't like using that word because I don't
But
know her
it's-
career,
yeah.
but like. Seems
No,
out of
I
nowhere.
think she's definitely up and coming. I didn't really hear anything of her until honestly the Grammys, but that just could be because of my algorithm and my
Yeah, I didn't either.
on
yeah.
Spotify and whatnot. It just wasn't there. But I mean, I listened to her album. I like her album. There are some great songs on there, but she also like Anxiety just came out after
TikTok
the fact
music.
too. It's that was definitely for me. I feel like that might have been made to become a TikTok trend. Which I mean, once Will Smith did it with Tatiana Ali, it was like done. Like
Yeah,
they did the
what are you
trend.
gonna
We're
do?
good. We
Yeah.
don't like you don't need to redo it anymore.
It's cooked. It's done, you guys. I don't want to see it pop up anymore. But Benson Boone, to me, one last thing on it. Something
'Cause we're not
about him
done.
rubbed me the wrong. Yeah, I'm not done. This whole episode's about fucking Benson Boone.
Yeah, forget it. We're not doing about new
Forget
bands.
it. We're
It's
not.
Benson
Yeah,
Boone.
yeah. We haven't even told him what it's about yet because I'm just so derailed. Benson Boone. I see him at the Grammys, and I'm like, there's something off about this. There's something about this that rubs me the wrong way, and this is my, I'm sorry in advance. I looked it up. He's Mormon. And I have nothing against the Killers. I love the Killers, but a lot of the Mormon acts are exactly what I'm like. I'm like, it is youth group music. Like that's because that's the word I kept using in my head. I'm like, it's like youth group core shit. Like it's
yes, that's
like,
how I feel like later iterations of the Killers are. When I saw them at Innings Festival, obviously the stuff from Hot Fuzz, great, and even some of the Sam's Town. But I was like, why does the rest of it all sound the same?
Just kind of big ballads.
Yes.
Where Brandon sings the high notes.
Yes,
and
he's
great.
And he's a very
great.
pretty man.
Gorgeous. I love the Killers. I love Brandon Flowers, but that's a band that we will touch on in a couple of weeks when we get into the musical McRib, because that is, to me, the greatest rock. That should have been like the greatest American rock band. Like,
then what happened?
But the problem is, they did Hot Fuss, and they're like, everyone's like, oh, these fucking British guys are dope. They're like, we're from the desert, bro. We're desert trash. We're Nevadians, okay? Yes. And then they put out Sam's Town, which to me is even better. But Sam's Town is Bruce Springsteen, and they stopped doing the Bruce Springsteen thing, and then they went more like Dire Straits and stuff like that, which, like, I don't know if that really has like a universal vibe to it.
I don't know either. I mean, the people in the desert seemed to like it, but they were also by the end of the night drunk, and also high. So it was half a dozen. I mean, it could be anything.
Anyways, what is the episode today on? Like, we have a topic. Why don't we introduce it? I guess it sounds exciting.
So this is something that we thought about we do maybe once a month, and it's talking about some of the new bands that we're listening to that we think you should listen to too if you haven't already. So Rob and I will touch upon 10 or so of them today, talk about who they are, where they're from, what they sound like, give you maybe a couple of tracks you should listen to, and we'll try to play a couple of clips too for you as well, and then, let you know if they're touring or not. So if you want to go see them this summer, this fall, next year, okay, no one has a tour schedule for next year out, but you know what I mean. You can go see them, I think. Yeah,
get out of your house and go see these bands. They could use your money. Stop spending. Taylor doesn't need any more money.
Yes. Taylor has all the money in the world, guys.
Are we on the same side? Like, I want to make sure I'm looking. Pete doesn't need any more of your money.
No, I mean, he doesn't. But I've already paid for the rest of the concerts I'm going to see them this year, so it's okay, I can say that. Unless they surprise me, there are no more. We are done.
We will see. We will see. New bands is exciting because I think so many people, especially people in our age bracket, stop following bands. There's so many people that are like, oh, well, I love when you talk about these bands from the 2000s, but they don't know anything after like 2008, it seems.
Yes. At most 2010, 2012. Yeah. And you could see that when the Vans Warped Tour announcements started coming out, and many of these bands, I think, are playing Vans Warped this year. And
a lot and everyone's complaining that there's no good bands. It's like, well, it's like you guys want When We Were Young. You guys have been so like spoiled and stuff. You forgot what Warped Tour, like that was never the point of it, Exactly.
And so I think that it's important for us as recovering emo kids from the 2000s to embrace the new generation, the people that are coming up. And some of these people have had already have had some success. Some of them are still finding that footing. But we have quite a few really cool bands.
I'd go on a limb and say the newer bands are better than the bands from then. On average.
They're taking risks.
We had a lot of stinkers back then. There's a lot of good, authentic bands doing it now.
Well, and I'm not going to say that their stuff compared to like the new stuff that some of the older bands are coming out with, I would dare say is also fresher, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's more of an urgency to it. They sound, there's more of an, think about it. You didn't want to listen to like your parents' bands and this and that. Dinosaurs go extinct. Like you don't want to be that person. Let's start with number one on the list, probably the most popular of the newer pop punk bands of the last, I'd say 5 years. Magnolia Park. Let's say Magnolia. I'd say pandemic onward, they've been pretty on top of the fucking game when it comes to the internet.
They have been. Yeah, I would agree. Magnolia Park originated from Orlando, Florida, and their vocalist, Josh Roberts, I mean, fantastic vocalist. If you have not had a chance to hear their cover of Eye to Eye from the Goofy movie.
Solid.
I think I'm not a Disney person.
Yeah, I'm not even like, I don't even like, I hear about Disney cover album that doesn't appeal to me, but I heard that. I'm like, the Powerline song rips, and Magnolia Park crushes it.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
I really like half the Magnolia Park stuff, and the stuff I don't like, I'm still like, this is really good. It's just not for me. Like sometimes it gets a little
Yes,
too um, electronic, a little too
they do like to experiment with that. Yeah.
dark, like spooky esque. It kind of gets like a little like a little
Yeah, the
vampire-y.
Halloween mixtape, I think, is one of the
Yeah,
names of, yeah.
yeah. I'm not super into like the spooky stuff normally, but like the heaters they got are heaters. I love what's the guy's name? Josh?
Josh, yeah, that's the lead singer. Yeah.
I like that he is not afraid to address the black elephant in the room and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not what you normally see in this band. If you
No,
have a problem with it, fuck you. Like that's great.
exactly.
I like that a lot.
I think so
Like
too. Yeah.
like that makes me support them more than I like the music. I'm like, I'm always gonna be on like, that's cool, good for them.
Exactly. And they just have actually two, well, as no, on the 11th, they came out with a new album called
Yeah,
Vamp,
this
which
last Friday.
is, yeah, which is like a concept album about, what is it, a futuristic world called Nocturne Nexus. And it's like this neo gothic vibe. So one of the songs on it, Shadow Talk, I love it. It's an excellent song. So if you need to listen to it, I think everyone should check it out. But
Okay.
it's wild. They're really trying some new and different stuff, and I commend them for that because I think that's really great. And who doesn't want a little bit of neo goth in their lives?
I want minimal.
Not Rob. I don't mind it every once in a
There's
while.
this song. There's this song by a band that's not new, but like there's like a lyric specifically that's like it's like goth. It's from the whole stead. He's like goth girls go for the vampire bats, but he's like I'm not so much into that spooky stuff. I like the lights and the up tempo tracks, and I'm like that's me. Like the guy, like don't get me wrong, like as a young man, the ladies of the
Yes.
alternative scene would be very appealing in this and that, but it's like I'm not really the vampire type. I'm more of like the skateboard in the sun at the beach, Blink 182 type. But like
Yeah, you're
we
going to
are,
be hanging out on Ocean Avenue.
yeah, we are similar. We are different but similar groups in the same subculture. So I respect the dark arts.
Yes, one's hanging out in the daytime, the other one hangs out at night.
Yeah, yeah. They
They
got
sometimes
these.
cross
They
paths.
got this shit at night. Yeah, dusk, dawn. We maybe cross paths for a minute or something like that. Like they show their
Yes,
teeth. I show them like the backward hat. Like we do the thing. Like boom, boom, boom. It's done. But like, yeah, Magnolia Park, pretty tight.
yes.
And they're on
Oh,
Warped
yeah.
Tour too, right? They were a band that
Yep.
when they announced the Warped Tour, I was like, Magnolia Park needs to be on there.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's they
They're
are
only
the.
on one date. I believe it's only
I
Orlando,
think
which of course is their hometown.
that's so funny. I was gonna say I think they're in DC and Long Beach, but no,
Yeah.
I think you're right. It might be Orlando.
Yes. And they are
What?
touring in April and May all across the country. And then I'm seeing them in September at Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky, which is exciting because that lineup was just sick. They also did a song with Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens.
Sleeping Siren, yeah.
Yeah, so they did a song
Kellen
with him a
Quinn
while
is kind
back.
of like a low key, like the Wheezy F of like the
Yes,
alternative scene when it
they
comes to
just bring him on.
features. Like there's not a lot of guys that are doing like features. Like
No,
like in the 2000s, Patrick was doing some features, but for the most part,
he
that's not really a
was.
thing in our world. And I can think of like, I mean, Kellen has the Pierce the Veil song. He's on like a Good Charlotte song. Like
Yes.
that dude, yeah. You pay him a little money, he'll come in there and drop some bars for you. I respect
Yeah.
that.
I mean, he's got that range. I mean, the fact that he can still get that high is
Yeah, he sings his ass
nuts.
off. Yeah, you're not supposed
Yeah.
to sing that high at this age. Like
No.
that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even think
legit.
like most women of that age can sing that high
No.
anymore. Yeah.
Next, we're going to talk about one of my personal favorite bands that I found on the internet. There's a website that used to be called Twitter. I found them on there. Camp Trash. I love
Okay.
Camp Trash so much. I think they're technically from Florida, but also kind of from Buffalo. Like, I think they claim as a Florida band. I don't know. There's some brothers in there. Some brothers with some youth group energy. Keegan and Levi Bradford, I believe are their names. Keegan, very popular on Twitter. Keegan is Franzia's mom on Twitter. He is, I would say, one of the leading voices in the alternative scene. He actually a lot of great pop punk and emo bands of newer ones like I've discovered through him. Basically, I've just kind of
Nice.
fucking follow his shit and bite whatever he says. But
That's
Camp Trash
great.
is tight because they're like a perfect like kind of modern pop punk to me, where it's like pop punky. It's not like full on pop. Like a lot of modern pop punk is like Newfound Glory adjacent, like post hardcore adjacent. Like this is more like like that indie rock element to it, major chords, fun vibe like that. I love them a lot. They have an album from 2022, A Long Way the Slow Way, I think.
Okay.
Solid, one of my favorite records in the last 5 years, legit. And they just did a split. They did a split with, so they got 3 new songs out that just came out
Nice.
like in the last couple months. They've been dropping them.
That's
One of them
great.
is actually named after one of the best TV shows of all time, The Detroiters. So that gained me some points as well. Yeah. But awesome fucking band. Awesome
Yeah.
band. Are they on Warped Tour? No, I don't think so. I don't
No,
think
I
they
did.
want to be.
Yes.
They don't want to be a Warped Tour band, I don't think.
Okay.
They're moving in more of an indie direction, I was told by Keegan. But
Okay.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
But
Everyone has they're more like a shaky knees or like uh maybe
yeah,
Bonner, like eventually,
yeah,
right? They want to get
they
to
should be
that.
on one of those. Yeah, like yeah,
Yes.
they're trying to be more in that world, which I respect. Like,
Yeah, we get that bourbon and beyond. Yeah.
I mentioned them on Stereotherapy, and I was like, it's like modern baseball meets like Newfound Glory or something like that. And I was like, yo, sorry for that description. He's like, no, it's fair. Like that's was our influences when we started. But like we're trying to do more of this now. It's like, yeah, like you got a little of that in you still, but like, which I get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want to be lumped in with the pop punk crowd. Maybe not the main one,
Yeah. And they want to branch out and do their own thing, which makes sense. So,
but yeah, I'm
um
a big Camp Trash fan. Have you had a
big
chance? Have
Camp
you heard
Trash
them?
fan.
Yeah.
I listened to them when I heard you on Stereotherapy, and of course because you've touted them on your TikTok for a while. So I
Yes.
did listen to some stuff, and I
I
do like
will.
their stuff. Yeah.
I will. Yeah, I will. I will be giving the Camp Trash Boys that rub all the time. Just a nice band. They're not anywhere
Yeah.
near the West Coast anytime ever soon, but I know they have
I'm
shows all
sorry.
around on the East Coast and things like that. There's too many things out here, so it's tough to have shows, I guess. Less places here. Like you can tour over there in all the major cities in like 2 hour drives. Like you come out here, like the gasoline stuff here, like you're gonna drive from LA to San Diego to San Francisco to like it's just they're bigger gaps.
Who's our next one? Is it Bill Murray, which is actually how it's pronounced?
I had to do like a triple take. So I saw like a lot of Bill Murray talk. Like last week when we were getting ready for this one, I was like, I put a thing up like, let me know your favorite newer
Yeah.
bands, and every motherfucker mentioned Bill Murray. I thought they were talking about the Ghostbusters guy.
Yeah, I was like, wait, Bill Murray. Someone a couple weeks ago mentioned them to me too. They're like, Amanda, I don't understand why you are talking about all these new bands, but you're not talking about Bill Murray. And I was like, I guess I don't know who that is. So
Yeah,
apparently it's the pseudonym for Johnny Frank, who
yeah,
was
it's
from Attack Attack.
yeah. Oh
What?
shit, I forgot. Yeah,
I
the
didn't
guy in my
know.
comments told me that. I was like, the Attack was like these people, right? Like the
Yeah,
crowdcore people. Am I thinking of the right
yeah.
one? Like they got all low and did the silly
They
shit. Like,
did, yes. And then they had a little bit of
wow.
like Christian influence because I think he actually tried to incorporate some Christian
Wow.
influence when he was getting big into Christianity, but then I guess he's sort of distanced himself from it. But it's the former singer from Attack Attack, and it's he just released, I think it's called American Motorsports on Columbia Records. He's
Yeah,
just signed with
it
them. So
rips. That's out on
it
Columbia
does.
Records. I
Yeah.
was listening to that on my drive today. I'm like, this rips. Like, I don't even know really
Yes.
what to describe it. Like, it felt like, I don't know. Like,
There was like like if there's definitely like a almost a pop punk, but a little bit of like a, I don't want to say a country feel to some of the songs, but there's like,
it's a Springsteen adjacent thing to it where,
yes,
like, it
Springs,
has
yes,
that,
there we
like,
go.
yeah,
Yes, folksy type of thing. Like I think it's
something, yeah.
Better Hell
Felt
is
like,
one of my favorite songs on.
yeah. And the cover has, like, it has a dirt bike on it.
It
When you
does.
got a motorcycle, yeah, you're using any sort of terrain vehicle on your cover, like, I know you're going to bring that middle of America heartland
Yes,
fucking rock to it. I
exactly.
really, I think I remember people saying it was the Attack Attack guy, and then when I listened to it, I think I just never had
You
processed
don't.
that till right now. Wow.
Yes, I think he
So
even
yeah,
made a song like, so they had the song Stick Stickly, I think, and he made a parody of it called Thick Thickly because he's a thick boy. Anyway,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got that big
So
dog on him.
yeah, I mean, hey, whatever works is how to get the ladies' attention.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, he's gonna be all over the place this summer. He's doing Rockville. He's gonna be in Australia. He's doing Lollapalooza. He's doing Louder Than Life. He's doing Aftershock, Shaky Knees. I don't think he's going to be on any of the Warp Tour.
Bill Murray is on Lollapalooza?
Yeah, yes, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, good for the attack guy. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Talk about a glow up.
I
Like,
know, that's
maybe
incredible.
one of the like least I'm sorry, I know people liked Attack if they were 13 in 2010, but like that was objectively like, it is what it is. But like this is like something that like this is like I think fucking Pitchfork might get behind this one even, you know what I mean? Where it's like
I
this
think
just
so
has
too.
like this has like an authentic feel to it. Wow.
It does feel very authentic, yeah.
Good
So,
for him.
yeah, look at him go. Just had to separate and then do what I guess he wanted to do.
Stop crabbing, Stop crabbing and start grabbing money bags. He's like, yeah. He's probably making more money when he was crabbing, but still, like,
That's
yeah,
true.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm into it too. So, yes, for those, Bill Murray. Just
Yeah.
how you expect it to... It doesn't spell like Bill Murray, but it sounds like Bill Murray.
It's spelled like the stomach lining or something. Like it looks like bile.
Like Pepto-Bismol?
Bill, like
something?
it sounds like something. Your body produces like a certain amount of Bill Murray, like every fucking
I'm glad-
like kind of thing. Like it would be
Yes.
represented in a cartoon as like little green like bad guys, like
Yeah.
yeah. I don't
It's
like
weird.
the name. I don't. There could be like a whole episode or just like a whole like series on bands that are named after people. And the levels of that, because you're
Yes.
like, there's like a Michael Cera Palin as well. There's,
True.
there's
Like the level of like just cheesiness and ickiness that comes like, does this make sense?
I don't even want to spoil because we have another one of those bands on this list. Who's next? I'm guessing the next one I know the next one's right down your alley in terms of
Oh yeah.
recent stuff.
Yes, Daisy Grenade. And I didn't know. You've heard their music before? Yeah. So Daisy Grenade, for those who are not familiar, it is fronted by Danny and Keaton, who are two young women from New York City, and they are signed to Pete Wentz's Decadence Records label, and they have their
nice.
first album. Yeah, their first album, cult classic, and it is fantastic. They
Solid.
bring this kind of like pop, girly grunge feel to their music, and they're on stage. Like I've seen them several times now live, and their on stage presence is that like very like bombastic and energetic, little bit of stage gay, just greatness.
There's a little bit
Yeah.
of like danger to it almost, where they
Yeah.
they seem like especially any of those, like a band, like you think of the bands that have been on Decadence and stuff like that before, like where it's like kind of cutesy and fun and this and that, but it's like those girls could shank you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
could. And their song how to body also
There you go.
could show you. Yes, there's definitely some deep elements to their lyricism. And I know that has a lot to do with Keaton because she writes the lyrics, but they have some fantastic songs. I know they're working on new music. They're touring with both Honey Revenge and Pierce the Veil, who they did a cover of King for the Day with. Or they didn't do with it, but they did a cover of King for the Day, which got Pierce the Veil's attention. And then they were all at When We Were Young together. And then next thing you know, they're announcing that they're doing the opening act for a few dates in May for the Pierce the Veil tour. But yeah, they are a fantastic band. I highly recommend everyone check out Daisy Grenade because they're solid.
Are they doing a record with Patrick?
They're doing something with Patrick because they were posting being in his studio. They flew out to where he is located and they had pictures of them in the studio. So they're cooking some stuff up, whether it's an album, a song, we'll have to see. But I know that they are very close
where does he
to
live?
him. I don't know.
Well, you don't have to worry. Yeah, you don't have to dox him.
No,
I just meant like the city. You don't know?
No, I don't know. Though that's like a legit thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's LA. Some people say he actually lives in Seattle. I don't know where he lives.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Respect. What a perfect rock star. You don't even know where this motherfucker lives. Good for him. I feel like he can live a normal life outside of like Like he can go
Yes.
places in public, I think. There's some places he can go, I think, where he could probably still get by without getting like bombarded.
So, but yeah, so they're going to be doing some. Looks like they're doing some songs with Patrick Stump, and we'll see if that is an album or just songs. But yeah, definitely check them out. They are wonderful live. Hypocrite, Riot are fun songs as well. Very good to just jam out to. So highly recommend overall. Who's next on our list?
My favorite band of the last year, Combat.
Okay, I
Combat.
was listening to them.
I love Combat so much. I think the Stay Golden album is legitimately maybe one of the best pop punk albums, maybe ever. Like I might go say, like I think I texted my boys the other day, and I was like, this is the best since like I'd say the Menzingers on the Impossible Path. So I'm gonna go like since 2012.
Yeah.
Like this is easily of the last 10 years, like the best in this world. I might even say like it could be better. And they're so fucking small. It doesn't make sense. I really thought they
They
were a bigger
are.
band.
No, I mean I had never heard of them, but I did when you gave me the list. I put them on, and I was like, this is like old school pop punk, and it's like in
Right?
its true form. Like this is
There's
what
like a
it is.
ferocity to it. It's
Yes.
more punk than pop, but
Yeah,
it's so like
100%.
bubblegum at times. Like the title
Yeah.
track is one of my just favorite
Yes,
songs
I
ever.
like
And
that
like I
one.
just like the concept of like brokenhearted kids don't party like their parents in the 90s. It's just like a beautiful, we've talked about it here, and just like there's like a melancholy to this guy. And like one thing I like about him is these guys, you go look at them, they're not lookers. There's some
Yeah,
real like I like the pop punk era that we grew up on, where all these guys were like handsome, like kind of, oh, we're shy, but we're kind of like pretty. Like
but we're sexy. Yeah.
there's kind of an angle to that. Like surprise, surprise, those guys that all ended up being creeps. Like these guys, I'm like these were some real dudes that like probably actually like they got something to sing about. You know what I mean? Like they were actually like outcasts, probably, you can tell, but like
Yeah.
they're great. I saw a fucking tweet recently that was like they tweeted they're like some band opened for us and covered 6 of our songs in their set and then left to smoke weed. Like they didn't even watch us play. And I'm like,
Oh,
honestly, that's a pretty cool move. Like
I know. I mean,
just gonna play the other
wow.
band's set and then we're just gonna dip to rip out of an apple in the parking lot, like greasy, but like I guess.
Yeah, I mean, well done. I mean,
Right,
that
yeah.
takes some balls. You learned like it's not like they're a famous like they're not like a massively famous punk band,
Right?
so
Like you
you
figured
just
out those
learned their
songs.
songs. Yeah.
Like that's pretty good. Like you learned 6 of them. I mean, granted, those 6 songs probably took like 12 minutes, but like still, like that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, well done. Whatever band that was. But yeah, so is Combat touring or anything? Or are they
I don't think so. I think they just finished one up, and I think it's the same thing. Like
Oh,
I've seen them tour like in the East Coast and stuff like that. Like I don't think it's also like
yes.
when you young kids are naming your bands, you got to really think about what's going to get you to page 1 on Google. You guys don't seem to know shit about SEO and marketing and the like. Like you should learn about SEO before you learn about music
Take a
theory.
marketing class in high
Take a
school if it's
marketing
available to you.
class. And
Yes.
like combat, come on, it's so hard to find that. Like even right now, like combat tour, you type in combat tour, some shit about Iraq comes up and stuff. You know what I mean? Like
You
it's
don't
like
want that information. We're not
no,
looking
yeah,
for
like no,
it.
you don't. Yeah, no, I'm looking for, and you just put in combat merch. It's just gonna be like either like UFC guy stuff or like military like surplus
Muay
store.
Thai,
Like
like shorts.
yeah, right. Like yeah, the Muay Thai boxer short thingies with the flaps on the sides. Like that's the stuff you're gonna
Yes.
get.
So, word to the wise, folks. If you are starting a pop punk band, just think about the name of the band when you're doing it. That's a lesson
Yes.
everyone can learn.
Yes. Speaking of band names, who's next? Because I think they have a good band name that is probably pretty
Ooh.
Googleable.
Yes, we're talking about Scowl.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I love Scowl. So Scowl is like a pop punk hardcore band fronted by a woman, Kat Moss. They came out with their self-titled EP in 2019. They just on April 4th released I think
Yeah.
their 4th studio album.
And they just played
I'm sorry,
like
their sophomore album.
they just played
Yeah,
like
late
Leno
night.
or Carson
No,
or whatever the new
Colbert.
one
Late
is.
night with
Colbert.
Late night with Stephen Colbert. They were just on their show. We all angels is the name of the album. Just came out. Oh, what a fantastic!
Rips.
It rips so hard. Special fantasy. I mean, there are some excellent songs on that album. I just think I just listened to it back to back one day, just kept streaming it. I was just such a
There we
big
go.
fan.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and there's this the screaming, there's the hardcore elements, and there's just the melody and the drums are just ripping. Fantastic. And they're going to be at Warp Tour, I believe, DC and Orlando. DC and Orlando. They're doing DC Orlando.
Not
They
here.
were supposed to be doing Louder Than Life. Then all of a sudden, when Louder Than Life said they're giving their final lineup, they weren't on the poster anymore. And I was like, wait a minute.
Wow.
That's not fair. Yeah, but then they're doing like Shaky Knees, Aftershock. Apparently everyone is just doing
I was gonna say, I've heard Shaky Knees, like every band we've
I
said
didn't realize
has been on
that
Shaky
like
Knees.
all these bands were going to be there, but and then they're
Where
going to
is
be in
Shaky
the UK.
Knees? Is that Alabama or something?
Georgia. Close.
Georgia, same thing,
Yeah, it's the
Interesting.
South.
It's the
Yeah.
South. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, they
I'm
are
a coastal
fantastic.
elitist. I don't know what happens
Yeah.
over there.
I got a special vinyl coming at some point from them. So. Oh yeah,
Good for
Urban
them
Outfitters.
for the late night show. Like the late night spot, like late night is like one of those things that like even as it like it's not that cool now, it's like that's like the coolest thing you can do as a band because like like you have family and stuff like that and it's like you're still doing that little music thing, and you can be really successful in our world. You can make a living in our world, but like unless you're like on the FM radio station in your hometown or you're on one of those shows, nobody really believes you're that big of a deal. And then you can be like, hey,
Yeah.
we're on fucking Stephen Colbert tonight, like
Yes.
which
There's
I
something to
didn't
be
even-
said when he's
yeah.
holding your album and introducing you.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
what was it? It was like Knock Loose and Poppy were on Fallon, right?
No, Kimmel, and because it was the
Kimmel,
outdoor
Kimmel.
thing. Holy
Yeah.
crap! I was like, the people who watch Kimmel on a daily basis were not ready for
I love
Knock
that.
Loose and Poppy. They were
I
not
love
ready
that.
at all.
I
It
love
was
I loved that
fantastic.
there was all that outrage, which a part of me believed like it had to be fake, a lot of it. But like I'm sure
has to
there's
be.
still plenty of people that were like, what is this
Probably.
noise?
Yeah, most of it was manufactured, I'm sure. Yeah.
I used to go to school right next to the Jimmy Kimmel, like where they do it behind. So it's like
Yeah.
he does his show on like Hollywood and Highland, like right in the Freemason building. And then
Yes.
behind there, but right between there and Hollywood High School, there's like a parking lot, and that's where they do the performances there. So like when I'd be at school, like I'd be like in my break at 2 or 3 and walking around and using medical marijuana and stuff, I would hear them perform. Like I'd hear acts performing in there, and it'd be like, I'm like, oh, Casey Musgraves is here and stuff like that. Like what I would
Like-
give. Wait, didn't they play at nighttime though? I remember it was dark. Was it dark?
Yes, they did. Yes, because
Like
they
they
did
waited
the
until
outdoor
like they're
concert
like,
thing.
yeah, we're gonna wait until it's about 8 p.m. It gets a little dark here, and then we're gonna fuck some. Like that's not gonna hit the same in the daytime. And they knew. They're like, we're not Poppy out. Poppy is one of the people we mentioned earlier. Like probably not a daytime person. Like you gotta wait. You gotta wait till the sun goes down to bring out that.
Yeah,
Jackie
that
Chan,
energy. Yeah, that
Yeah.
energy only comes out at night. Yeah, they're
Good
wearing
for
all the fantasy
Scowl.
gear. Yeah,
Good for
Scowl.
them.
I'm glad for them. Yeah, they are definitely a band that people should be listening to if they're not listening to them and her vocals are fantastic on it. I mean, she does the whole, she can do the screaming and then she can do the singing, like, which for a girl even, I mean, not that saying for a girl, I hate saying that as a woman myself, but I mean, it's not something that you see all the time. So the fact that I would lose my voice. So
I like that we've covered multiple female bands and nobody has compared any of them to Hayley Williams or Gwen Stefani or
Oh
Evan.
no,
Like,
yeah.
the world is healing. The world is changing.
Thank
Like
God.
we're like, I don't even see people making those comparisons online the same way anymore. It's like, okay, like
Thank you.
there can
Yes.
be more. Like we don't have to do tokenism with ladies anymore.
Yes, we don't need to. Just because they have colored hair, does not mean
Yeah.
that they're Hayley Williams. They're not buying her. Maybe they're buying her dye. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they
but
might
doesn't
be
mean
using
they are
Good
her.
Die Young, but even then, like, there's more than there's more than 2 women that sing in bands, you guys.
Yes, there are exactly. But yeah, Scal is fantastic.
Next up, one of my favorites,
Yes.
personal favorites, the Tisberries. The Tisberries are a
Yes.
band I discovered on TikTok because I made a post about how all the best bands kind of sound like Bruce Springsteen. And they commented, they were like, you should check us out. And, people comment on that on my stuff usually, and, like, I don't really, like, check it out. I'm not going to lie to you. But for some reason, I just checked that out, and I was like, okay, this actually kind of rips. And then, like, I hit them up, and, like, before we started planning this show, or around the time we started planning the show, I was also planning out, like, doing some interviews as well. And they were one of the first ones I hit up. I have an interview with the lead singer of the Tisberries. It'll be coming out on this channel. I think I'm going to put it out this next Friday. So this next Monday, I'm going to release the first interview of those with my friend Brian Street Team, who I know from San Diego. He was an adult actor. He put me in one of his adult films one time acting with him. I just did acting. I didn't do any like cool stuff.
Oh, wow.
You can. I
Don't
did
get
a
excited,
monologue.
guys.
I did a monologue. Yeah. If you guys want to see me kind of monologue,
In an adult film? How this is interesting.
It was a great, like, no, I was on the short list. Joanna Angel, it was a Burning Angel production. It was called, there was a show at the time with a tattoo artist, Kat Von D. Do you remember this program?
I do,
LA
yes.
Inc. You're familiar?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a popular
100%,
program.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So this was trying to very tightly walk with the words so we don't get in trouble on the internet. This was a LA Inc. parody called LA Pink. And
oh, yeah, I get it.
yeah. And I was like, I played the role of like the dumbass like frat bro that goes in to get a tattoo. And they gave me like a whole script to read and stuff like that. And like then when we got there, like they're just like, can you just make something up? And I was like, yeah, like I can fucking ramble. I made up this story about this toilet, and I wanted to get this tattoo of the toilet from our frat house, and now we blew it up at the end. And his name was Catherine. All this. And Joanna thought it was so great, just because I'm sure she sees like the level of acting around there is probably pretty low, and she's like, this guy is so funny. She nominated me, or she put me on the short list for an AVN award. They have an award for best performance in a non-sex role. I was on the short list. I wasn't actually nominated, but I was considered. I was considered. If you go on IMDb and you look Rob Mappledick, it's me. I come up on there.
That's your last name in the thing?
In the thing. No, that's my that's my acting name. That's my stage name in that industry is Rob Mappledick. Because my buddy Brian Street Team was like, well, he's Canadian, like Mappledick. Like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, so we're doing like it'll be on this channel, and on Monday I have an interview with Brian. That'll be the first one. That's a vibe. We talk about his time doing, films and playing in bands and stuff. But then after that, this next Friday, April 25th, the Tisberries have a new record coming out that I have had in my possession digitally for like 2 months. And it is legitimately, I'm not just blowing smoke or anything like that. It might be the record of the year. It's like the best of what the Killers did well when they were like Sam's Town Killers, meets like Wilco, meets like just like Gaslight Anthem maybe mixed in there too, mixed with like, I don't know, like the Format or something. Like it's a great band. They're from Philadelphia.
Oh, my hometown. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a Philly band. And there's something special in Philly, like where there's a lot of great, and I talk about them on there. Where it's like, what is it in that area? Is the Northeast, the Rust Belt there? What is it about there where your bands are so much better? And we talk about it, and it's very interesting for those of you listening. If you want to listen to that, it'll be out next. I'm going to put that as like a special bonus one that comes out the day of their release, just because it's a shorter interview.
That makes sense,
but super cool band, and I found them through TikTok. They're awesome. Yeah. There's a song, the closing track on this new record, something about doves. The Lonesome Dove or something like that. Nice. It rips. Like it's the funnest. I don't know. There's a Lonesome Dove movie?
Yeah,
it's like the movies Brian does, or it's a real movie? Oh.
No, it's a Western.
It's a real movie. Okay, yeah, it's like the ones Brian.
It's a movie it's a Western. No, I am all about. There are some fantastic bands in Philly, and I feel like we'll have to at some point just cover like the different. Well, we are going to cover the different.
We'll do the regional ones.
The regional stuff. Yeah, there's just man. There are some great bands out there that I've discovered from Philly.
There's a show here on the same channel, the same network, the same platform. So this podcast you guys are listening to is either on Spotify or Apple or the YouTube. On the YouTube, there is a YouTube show called What Makes This Song Stink? And it's by this guy, Pat Finnerty. And he's from, I was about to say Finn McKenty. Finn McKenty he's a quitter and a groomer. That's a different guy.
Yeah, let's not talk about that guy.
Anyways, we're talking about the Tisberries there. New record, April 25th, A Still Life Without You. It rips. Go check them out. Who's next? We got a band that's named after a person next.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yes, Winona Fighter. So this band has been popping up all over the radar lately. Got to see them at Innings Festival in Tempe, Arizona. And, I mean, they kill live, first and foremost. They are fantastic. But for those who are not familiar, Winona Fighter is a band based out of Nashville. So not from our traditional realms, not an east west coast, but here down south where we all got a little bit of a twang. And it's the front woman is Coco Kinnan and lead guitarist is Dan, bassist is Austin, and their debut record like just came out. It's called My Apologies to the Chef, and they have this really awesome song called "You Look Like a Drunk Phoebe Bridgers."
They have great song titles. They do the song.
Best song titles.
Hot Mulligan. Everyone's like, well, Hot Mulligan does the good songs. The Hot Mulligan ones are like Family Guy song titles. And you're like, we're just being random for the sake of being like, we're just doing fucking cutaways here. Winona Fighter. They got a song called I Think You Should Leave where there's just like subtle references to I Think You Should Leave. Like really subtle. Like it's not like they're going through and doing the obvious stuff. Like it is like they are true ball knowers. Like they know ball. Like they are. Those are my kind of people. I'm a Winona Fighter fan. I think our friend Becca is also a Winona Fighter fan. I feel like I also see. Yeah,
our friend Becca is a huge Winona Fighter fan.
Becca is my gauge for the youth.
Yeah, she was in the pit for Winona Fighter. She wanted to crowd surf at that show, and I'm sure she's going to get her chance at some point because they're doing a lot of festivals too. I know they're going to be at Minnesota Yacht Club, which I'll be there. They're also going to be doing the Vans Warped Tour in Orlando. Orlando's Warped Tour, I know people are like, oh, I don't know what's going to be good. There's a lot of freaking bands that are going to be there. It's huge. That's probably the biggest date.
Yeah. The Orlando one? Or the Orlando one's the biggest one? Yeah, the Orlando one is stupid big. But it has like the same budget, which makes... There's still more bands getting added to the Orlando one, I think, still, right?
Yeah,
like,
there's still a couple of... Yeah, on the site, there's still maybe like 3 or 4 blank spots or like grayed out spots. So
next up, another band named after... I don't even know if it's a famous person, though. Harrison Gordon? Is that a real guy? I don't know.
I don't know.
I like
thought
the
Harrison
band
Gordon
Harrison
was
Gordon,
their
though.
name. Okay.
Yeah, that's the band's name. Great band. It's like Menzinger's to me. Like, it's like in that, like, it's got that, like, Rust Belty, like, I'd say, like, fourth wave, like the best bands of the fourth wave to me were, like, Joyce Manor. Is it Joyce Manor or Joyce Manor? It's Manor, right? Joyce
I
Manor.
always said Joyce Manor, but maybe it is Manor. It's spelled like Manor.
Yeah, I don't know. But Joyce Manor and the Hotelier, they sound like those with like a little more punk rock in them.
I like that.
If I'm not mistaken, they just put out a new EP like a fucking month ago. Yeah, March 6th, the Spring Break EP.
Wow.
Solid work. Really good band. I believe they are kind of in that combat world. I'd say that Camp Trash is adjacent to. They're in there. There's a few other bands right in that kind of like that level of pop punk, where they kind of just pop off that free throw era emo stuff like that.
Do they have any full length albums or just EPs?
Do they have full length albums? I've been so jacked up. Yeah, they have one. They have one that I was listening to the other day. Yeah, the Uppies are winning from 2 years ago. They have one.
Okay,
solid.
So yeah,
solid and greasy. There's like two types of pop punk. Well, there's multiple, but you can kind of divide pop punk into like there's like the Monster Energy pop punk, and then there's cigarette pop punk. Or it just sounds like people that like cigarettes. That's cigarette pop punk to me. Like I like the I like the idea of cigarettes. Like I feel like of all the things we've mentioned on the show, this is the one that's gonna get us the most trouble. The word cigarette, but like your big tobacco, they're gonna come down.
Yeah, they're coming down on us hard.
There's bands where it's just like it kind of gives me the vibe like these people smoke cigarettes inside their house.
Yeah,
and that's the vibe I get from Harrison Gordon. That's the vibe I get from Combat. That's the vibe I get from Camp Trash. Even Bill Murray, I'm like, y'all are smoking cigs inside. Makes for good art.
Yeah, probably also in their cars. Probably also in the truck.
With the windows up.
Up. They're just
emphysema as fuck. Yeah, can't be good. But I like that band a lot.
Okay.
Next up, we have Busy. Busy is a female as well. She's a lady. She's like a mix of Katy Perry and Hayley Williams and the Evanescence lady and the No Doubt girl. And I'm just fucking with you. But no, kind of like I would say Katy Perry, like One of the Boys era, where it's kind of that like poppy punk. Like it's a little electronic, but it's just very, very bop centered. I do some stuff with her label management, stuff like that. And I was an artist, like when they like showed me the roster, I was very much like, okay, I like Busy a lot. She released a new
Okay.
song a couple weeks ago, or about a week ago or so. Fuck, what was it doing? Don't Tell the Girls, about like hooking up with her ex. She's got a lot of bops. You know, it's like girl bops. It's like
Is it
rom-com
like kind
girl
of like
bops.
Charlotte? Is it kind of like a Charlotte Sands or like a
I'd say more like a
low
Lolo. Like a Lolo. There you go.
Lolo?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd
okay,
say it's
Lolo. Okay,
Lolo-esque,
there
where
we
like
go.
a little
Lolo.
less like
Okay,
Lolo's a little more pop punk. This is like a little more pop,
pop. Okay,
indie pop. Like maybe it has like slight like recession era indie, like before the
well,
Stomp Clap, when it
perfect
was like the
time
fun,
for it.
make it famous kind of like that kind of
Yeah.
just bop centered music where it's just hit
Okay.
after hit. But like I do these monthly playlists, and I think I put a busy song in every one just because I'm like, she's doesn't have any full length albums. She's like they still do a lot of singles. She's on what I consider to be pretty close to a major label, Big Loud Rock. They're very big in country. Their rock
Hmm.
artists are the rock imprint is coming along, but like she rocks, and she should be a lot bigger. And like every time she has a new song, it's just like it grabs me. It's like great girls pop, like where it's like fun, like just like like it's rom
It gets
com
you
music.
moving.
Like I don't know how to else explain. It's like rom com. Like the songs sound like the plots to rom coms always. Like she got one that's like I'm hotter than your ex. The one about like
Okay. Like the
you
edgy
know
rom coms, like not like Win a Date with Tad Hamilton, and
no
it's
like
gonna
yeah.
be
There's
like
like
why can't it's
yeah.
not Liz Fair. It's not like Liz Fair songs.
No, Liz Fair.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Liz Fair, I would say has maybe there's a little Liz Fair, like the first, like early Liz Fair, like
Okay.
Exile and Guyville era Liz Fair, where it's kind
Yeah.
of like fucking Run era Liz Fair, where there's not middle aged pop star.
Yeah, not why can't I breathe. We just
Yeah,
played
yeah.
like over and over again on every rom.
I love Why Can't I? That's a great song, but yeah,
It
it's
is a
not
great
like
song,
it's
but
not
they
like
played
that.
it in every rom com in the
They
2000s.
did. I can just hear like that's the perfect song that plays. This movie's all start like a guy and a girl meet, and it's kind of like the guy like kind of has to win her over. And then they start going at it, and there's usually like they hook up about 30% through, 40 to 60% of the movie, 70%. Everything's going good. Then they get in a jam, and then when the
Something
jam
happens.
gets fixed, "Why Can't I" is like the "What was I thinking" song that plays. Yeah, and
Yep.
it's
What?
perfect. Right? It hits at the right spot. It's perfect placement.
Exactly. All right, I want to check out Busy because she sounds great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next up, we have
Games
games
we
we
play.
play.
Oh
Who that is?
yes, Emin. Oh boy, I've gotten to see Emin play live several times. Obviously another band on Pete Wentz's label.
I was gonna say you're saying a name that's different than the one written down on the thing. Are
Sorry,
you
yes,
saying
Games we play is
Eminem?
Emin, Emmyn. So Emin is the lead singer, the front man for Games we play, and they
Will you
sound very
spell that
like
again?
E
Eminem?
Emmyn.
Emin.
Like
Emin.
Emmon. So no, but it has like a little bit of like a more soulful, like old school, like Good Charlotte, Simple Plan kind of vibe, but more
Okay,
a
I'm
little bit
sold.
soulful. Girl Shaped Crater and what is it? She's a Girl are two great songs, and he is hilarious, very self-deprecating on stage. Even his
The
songs are
best.
very self-deprecating. And he did when we were young in 2023. He actually like put his mom's like phone number like on this big banner and it's like call
Yeah.
my mom. I was like this. He gets it, and he actually did a really great cover at When We Were Young in 2023 of Mr. Brightside, which was fantastic. But
Wow.
no,
Okay, I'm
he
into
is
this.
just. He is wild. He's wild on stage. He's got great energy. He's all
Is
over
there
the
a
place.
band before this guy's from, or just this band?
This band, yeah, this band.
Okay.
I like
I'm
the
intrigued
all
now.
my untalented friends is from is an older song of his, and that's hilarious. It's that once he talks about L.A. and that reminds me of some like the Good Charlotte stuff back in the day. Just talking about life in
I like this
L.A.
guy.
and people in L.A. Yeah, he is. You have to check out Games He Played.
Dark. Who's next?
No, but yeah. So, anyways, but he's touring with his own tour this summer. So,
I'm putting this
who
on.
is-
Life's going great.
Yeah, again, like I said, his stuff is so like it's just like tongue in cheek. You kind of feel bad for at the same time. You're like, I feel you because I've been there before. Doesn't matter who you are, and
Sick. I'm into this.
yeah, Games to Play. Definitely have to check him out. Let's see who is next. Arrows in Action.
I see this name pop up all the time. They're on
So-
Warped Tour as well, right?
Yes, they are on Warp Tour. They're doing the summer school tour as well with like Taylor Acorn, Charlotte Sands. Rain City Drive. And I had never really heard of them, but I put them on because I am going to summer school tour this summer, and I'm into it. Very pop punk, high energy, but like more pop on the pop side, right? Less on the punk side, so not as hard. But have some really good melodies in their songs. And they're from Florida too, which is why I think they're playing the Orlando show, which kind of
Florida's
makes
got
sense.
something good in the water. They make a lot of good bands in Florida and I think Florida makes better bands than we do out here because there's more like tension and more bad experiences. You know what I mean? Like you're growing up in Florida, you're dealing with alligators, you're dealing with religious zealots, you're dealing with
Old
bath
people.
salts. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of things at play there that kind of make you a little more of an artist, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, and plus you're in like, if you're in Central Florida, it's basically Disney World. And having to live in
Yes.
the shadow of Disney World, I can imagine, or at all of the theme parks, it congregated in one spot. Like, sure, you have that in California, but they're not
It's not the same
like
thing, yeah.
800 of all in the one area. Like,
No,
I
you
bet
get
most
over
people
there.
work in the theme park industry in Orlando. It's got to be kind of
I
depressing
mean, yeah, well,
sometimes.
you talk like with the boy bands, like there's a reason they all came from Orlando. There's so many people there
Yeah.
that know how to sing and dance and do this, and it's different than being in LA where it's like it's like these are younger kids.
Yeah.
They're maybe a little like Southern kids or East Coast kids who are maybe a little. They're not. It's not as jaded as LA. They're a little easier to mold and stuff like that. You know.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I like Arrows in Action. I think that everyone should check them out. Their debut LP was in 2023, so they're a relatively
There
new
we go.
band.
Relatively new,
Yeah.
and we only got one album, one full length.
Yeah, one full length, yeah. So,
Nice.
yeah, they're definitely and they're going to be on tour like all summer for the summer school tour, so plenty of chances to check them out and then Warp Tour at the end of the year.
There we go.
So,
I was gonna see. Yeah, I remember when they were listing like the Warped Tour lineups were coming out. They were one of the first ones, and people were hyped on them. And I was like, I don't know this.
yeah, but solid band.
Last on our list here, but not least, one of
Yes.
my favorite bands that I also discovered on the application TikTok,
I love his name,
Dexter
by the way.
and the Moon Rocks. Yeah, I don't. Moon Rocks were like these things we used to buy at the dispensary. I don't think that's what this is named after, but it might be because these guys got some real scumbag vibes to them. Like there's some degen there's some just there's degenerate like I would see them a lot like before I posted about pop punk and I was just posting about like just degenerate like humor stuff. I'd be seeing them all the time because they were really good. Like they're equally good at the internet as Magnolia Park, but the Magnolia Park people are Monster Energy drink people and
Yeah.
these are cigarette people. These are
Okay.
cigarette inside people to their core. These are crushing up pill people, I think. Like there is like it's like
What?
country. Yeah, no, it's just like it's like just like it's country, but it's not. It's grunge, but it's not. It's like alternative
Okay.
rock, but it's not. Like it's like it sounds like really good radio rock of the 2000s, maybe mixed with this
Nice.
like modern degen spin. You know, I mean, like their most recent singles are like they got Ritalin, they got new one, Serotonin, that's like, that's coming out in a couple weeks. And it's just, they got an EP coming out and they're very big on TikTok. Very, very
Okay.
big. Like I'd say they're might even consider them a borderline TikTok band. And they are
Wow, good following.
surprisingly, weirdly enough, playing the Warped Tour. They're signed to the same label Busy is, and I like
Okay.
bugged the people I knew there. I was like, y'all got to get busy on Warped Tour. You got to get this person. Like I listed off every person that they like on their label except for Dexter Nunox because I was like, well, Dexter's not a Warped Tour band. And then the lineup comes out and they're on the Warped Tour, and I'm like, sick.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
like I think is Treaty Oak Revival on a date as well at the Warped Tour. They
I
might
don't know. They might be.
Treaty Oak Revival.
Because I
Treaty
was
Oak
just
Revival
on.
Warped Tour. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
they're
trying to look
performing
on.
it. Yeah, they're in Long Beach.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
both of them are in
Wonderful.
Long Beach. And that's so weird because they're both like, I would say like the country, they're sonically more country, but they're of our world. Like you can hear like
Interesting.
yeah, like Treaty Oak is more of that, maybe I'd say Gaslight, that Bruce ripoff sound that kind of puts you in our world. But
Yeah,
like Dexter is
exactly.
just like,
So probably would have
like,
you think like Orlando because I always think there's still
yeah,
that
you think maybe
southern
it's still
element
kind
down
of the
there.
South, yeah, or the
Yeah.
Jersey one because they're East Coast or
Yeah.
something over there. I
Hmm.
don't know, like or the DC one or whatever. But like no, like they're in LA randomly. Like, I don't think they've ever played out here either. So I'm very curious if like they're going to book a tour or something to come this way. But either
Maybe.
way, I will be at the stage when Dexter the Moonrocks play. And if you see me and if I look disheveled and out of it, no, you didn't. No, you
No,
didn't.
you didn't.
That was a different guy. That was
He's
a different
probably
guy.
gonna be wearing a hat.
That was a different guy. That was a different guy that was sunburnt and spilling drinks and making an ass of himself. It was a different guy who just conveniently looks like me.
Ah,
But yeah. But
all
that guy will
white
be
guys
there.
look the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah,
There you
there's
go.
like 6 of us. Yeah, there's like 6
They're all
archetypes.
the
Like,
same.
I'll just be one of, and like 20% of that crowd's gonna look like me. So like it was someone else. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get that out there early, cover myself.
Well,
But
glad we covered all your
Dexter's tight.
bases.
They have a new EP coming out in May, I believe, which I think they've already started releasing some songs for, but
Oh,
it's
that's
pretty
awesome.
good. I'd say and I think they were like #1 on like the Canadian airplay charts recently, which is really random.
But they're not a Canadian band.
No, but Canada's weird. It's very Canadian music. Like Canadian music to me, like Canada's very rural, like all of Canada, with the exception of Toronto and Vancouver. Most of it's suburban, this and that. So there's like that like Americana rock and roll sense to a lot of music Canadians like.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
when I saw they were #1, it made sense to me. I was like, yeah, that feels like a Canadian band. Like it's hard to explain, but a Canadian
that
would
makes
understand,
sense.
I think.
Yeah.
Kind of just, it feels like Midwest almost, like where it's like they want something that's a little more rock. They don't want as poppy or as electronic. Like they want grit. And there's
Yeah.
like a grit to that.
Okay. So Dexter and the Moonrocks. I need to know where they got
Yes.
that name.
I
So
don't
you know
know,
where
but
the Dexter came from?
it's a good name. Like, is Dexter the guy? I don't think the guy's name is Dexter. Or is the band
It's
the
not
movie?
the
I don't know.
show.
No.
No, it's
I'm
not from the
very
show.
curious.
Or the yeah, I'm curious too. We will find out one
Yeah,
day.
I'm gonna ask them right now on the internet. I'm gonna send them a DM and say, what the fuck is the deal with the name? And we'll see if I get an answer.
And we will keep you updated if he does find it.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Awesome.
what's the next episode gonna be?
Yeah. So now that we've kind of talked about our bands you should listen to, and then next month we'll do the same thing. 10 new bands. If you have a band that you are wanting to promote or think that we need to listen to, let us know. Put it in the comments on YouTube. Shoot us a DM in TikTok or Instagram, etc. But next week's episode, great question.
I heard we might have a friend. Is that true? Is this true?
Not next week.
I'm jumping. Oh shit.
He's jumping on me.
Oh yeah.
wait.
Forget I said
Pod schedule.
anything.
No, next week's episode, we are going to dive into.
Oh, I'm dumb. I see it now. I'm like, it is next, and I'm like, no, never mind. We eliminated. We did, their first couple aren't on there. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so the next episode we're going to do is just talking about the resurgence of 2000s emo in the 2020s. What does it look like today? Talk about some of the trends that have sprouted up, that have come back around, and talk about all of the nostalgia
Revivals,
tours. Yeah, just kind of dive into that. Yes.
The run of pop punk being the most popular. Like, oh, we love these bands again and this and that. And yeah, it's been interesting 5 years. Like, it's nice to see some of those older bands get their checks, like good for them.
100%. Yeah.
Happy
And
that people are
to
getting
go
when we were
tour.
young checks, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be diving into that next week. That sounds exciting. And then
It does.
the week after that, we have a guest.
Yes. Then we have a couple of guests coming up, which we're very excited about in the end of April and in May as well. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, particularly for our Fall Out Boy episode that we're gonna do.
Yes,
So.
yeah. If any of you have heard of Fall Out Boy or the artist Taylor Allison Swift, we'll be discussing those artists and others with some experts, some literal
With
fucking
some
experts.
Yes, on that.
Professionals.
So we're very excited. But all right, so thank you guys for listening to us today. You can find us on all of the social media platforms minus Facebook. I guess we should maybe make a Facebook. I don't know.
I guess.
One
Yeah.
day.
I don't think I even. I don't even think I. Yeah.
Do
I
any?
don't,
Yeah.
I don't have Facebook.
Does anyone still use Facebook on the
Yeah.
regular?
No. Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. My aunts wouldn't really care. Yeah. Yeah.
Neither would mine or my
Yeah.
racist like
Yeah,
neighbors.
the worst guy, the worst guy from my high school. I'm not really, I don't think he's going to care too much. But the rest of them, you can follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Music. You could literally do that right now, but you're choosing not to. Why? I honestly don't know, but I think that's a personal problem you need to sort out. So go do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And then also on
Get that-
YouTube, because you can listen to us and see us on
Yeah.
YouTube.
You can watch, yeah, which is exciting because then you can really gauge things. And when you watch, I would, if I were you, I would be listening and then watching later on. I would be doing both and playing it all the way till the end, and also commenting and engaging and liking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like that just seems like a cool thing to do.
Yeah, and we love engaging back. And if you watch, you get to see all of my lifetime reactions to whatever craziness Rob says.
Yeah, I was
which
just saying, yes,
barely-
you can see. Which is always like the highlight the next day. I'll get the text like, "Oh, you start telling me you should see it." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm like, I saved it specifically." I was like, "Let's see."
I would never play poker for that reason alone. I could not hide my
Right? Yeah, I'm like, there's like levels. Yeah, we need a graphic designer to come in. We need like a scale of like Amanda's eyeball reading, where it's just like yeah, oh yeah, like that was a 4 centimeter dilation there. Like, yeah, Rob told something rotten.
Exactly. That's a whole TikTok video itself. Just like all the reaction shots.
Right?
What did Rob say? Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for listening, and we will see you all next time.
Bye, internet.